Welcome to my PIF talk today through Life Coach University. Here at Life Coach University, everything is done out of love. So out of my love, my hope is to give you some wisdom today to help you love yourself more. And you can take it wherever you want to go and pay it forward with that love, however you'd like to do it. Something little, something big, whatever calls to you. The importance is to pay it forward out of love, and let's just cause this huge ripple effect. So my name is Jodi Jackson, and I'm a manifestation coach. And if you've been here for any of my other days this week, we've been talking about how to live your truth. And today, my truth is that it's cold and rainy out there, and I just feel like being really, really comfortable. So I said, you know what? I'm not getting dressed today. I'm going to wear my comfy little Snuggie. I'm nice and warm. Maybe just brush my hair a little bit. That's it. You know, I'm here for love. And this is my authenticity today. So let me get my chair, get started. Okay. How is everybody today? Good, I hope, no matter what your weather is. So today we're going to talk about surrender. Another hard one to do, surrender. But let me ask first and foremost, is there anybody here that ever just tried to just let go and surrender to try to feel better and failed? It was just really hard. Yeah, I'm one of those people. So, as I say, I talk about what I know. So to be able to surrender, first you have to think of what you want to surrender. What do you want to let go of? Is there something that doesn't serve you anymore? I know we've talked about that a little bit. What doesn't serve you anymore? Feel free to write something in the chat. I love the camaraderie, the interaction, the exchange. So feel something to write something in the chat, what you would like to let go of, maybe having a hard time doing. And if that's happening, and you know me well enough now, you know I love the word why. Why is it hard to let go of? So something, let's see, for me that's been hard to let go of, and I think we all do it naturally. I was just talking about it with a friend, and so it reminded me. As much as I don't want to judge, sometimes it just still comes up for me. I do. And that first thought of judging comes up, and then the thought comes up for me, oh, I don't want to do that. So what can I do to flip that and not think it? Well, I tried it once before, years ago, as a New Year's resolution. We all know what resolutions do now, right? They're hard to keep, just simply that word, resolution. But habit is a better word. So I decided I wanted to make it a habit. And it kind of became like putting on a seatbelt. Every time I had that judgment in my head, which was a whole lot more in my past than it is now, thank goodness. But every time I had it, I would immediately think, oh, you don't want to do that anymore. And just give myself that reminder. And it worked. It actually worked. And it worked because I made it a habit. So what's something that you can make a habit of, a thought in your mind? What's something you want to let go of that you can say that to yourself and make it that habit? And what you'll find is you'll still maybe think it, do it, whatever it is, see it, whatever it is that you want to let go of, but possibly it'll happen less and less. You'll find that won't be in your mind as much. So let's see, I see we have a couple of things on the Q&A. Someone says, what's hard to let go of is comparing myself to others. Absolutely, totally get that one. I think we all do. Worrying that I was not doing enough. Okay. And then someone else says, I struggle with letting go of the want to know more and more about everything. Wow, I kind of look at that as a great thing. For me, the struggle is to limit myself and focus. Yeah. Why? Because there is so much out there to learn. I love to learn, but I see that it doesn't serve me. I am working to learn to leverage others' knowledge and be okay with me not needing to know, but trusting others. Wow, as I write this, it comes down to trust, I guess. Yeah, that's a really good one. Trust is huge. So actually, both things that both of you just said, if you notice, have a lot in common. Interesting. So it is trust. It is letting go. It is surrendering, right? That's exactly what trust is. It's really, I didn't even think of that myself, but trust is another way to say surrender. So let's see. I chose release as my word for this year. So this fits right in. I am letting go of hesitation. Nice. If I have an idea, I will explore it with a yes mindset and see if it fits into my bigger plan. Then not hesitate. Then not let hesitation keep me from exploring or doing it. Yeah, that's a really great one. And all of these things that you're saying, it takes reflection, right? It takes thinking about what it is first, what that block is, because that's what it is. It's a block, or we wouldn't be having this. And reflecting on that block, the why, the how, how can we let it go? Trust is a hard one. Trust, surrender, letting go, release. It's hard. It takes practice like anything else. So what do? I'm going to be a broken record here, but start small. Start with releasing, with letting go, with surrendering something small, just simply to show yourself that it's possible, that you can do it. It doesn't have to be this big thing that you've been thinking about for months or years, or, something huge. Don't start with that. Start with something small that you can let go of. Is there somebody that's been irking you in your life, that you just feel that this person's not serving you anymore? It's causing more havoc in your life than the love that you want to be able to have within and give? Maybe practice not talking to them as much. If anybody else has any other suggestions, it's practice. It's practice like anything else. Sorry, I'm watching the time because I'm going to keep this a little shorter today. So yeah, try it. What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that can happen trying to let something go and surrender? If you don't like it, it's okay. You don't like it. You're not comfortable with it. Maybe you're not ready to do it. But just taking that step of trying it is pretty huge. It's bigger than you think, especially if you've never done something like that before. So try to surrender, try to let it go, have faith, right? I let go of negative people a few years ago. Yeah, it makes such a big difference to let go of that negativity in your life. That's such a good one to practice. I love that. What's negative in your life? It's not serving you. That's something you can practice letting go of. That's a huge one, letting go of negative people. Because when people are telling you something, they're telling you their view, right? I know more people that in a conversation will say their view rather than something objective, and think of your view and what that may be, or objectivity that might fit into the conversation as something more general rather than their specific view. But we're human, and this is what a lot of humans do. They give their view, which might cause negativity in you. So the reason I'm getting that specific is maybe if that helps spark something for you, if I can help you realize, because people is such a big one when it comes to negativity. I mean, yeah, we have negativity within ourselves, but there's also the negativity in people, in our environment, which ultimately comes down to people again, right? So maybe you can use that as a small one to let go, because when you don't have that negativity coming from the outside, we have so much of it already within ourselves. Why do we need negativity coming in from the external? We don't. It definitely doesn't serve us. So that's a really good one to practice with. Thank you so much for suggesting that. Ooh, here's one. I choose simplicity. That comes back to meaning and listening to what feels right. Making space in my days for pauses. Oh my gosh, I love that. Such a good one. It feels so good. We think of the negativity, but do we think of what feels right? Maybe if we think of the what feels right part, it can be easier to do the surrender. When we're focusing on that negativity, I could feel it just thinking about it, that it would be harder to surrender. But if we're feeling from that positivity and that love, how much easier would it be to lean into the surrender and to lean into the trust? So going back to what's the worst that can happen, especially if you're going to root it from the right place. Yeah, so true. I feel it comes from a deeper knowing. Yeah, absolutely. And that's trust, right? Trust is, if you're feeling that coming from that deeper knowing, that just means that you're trusting that knowing. Again, practice, so much practice for these positive things that we can be putting in our lives. So let me see, there's the Q&A in here. Someone says, I find it hard letting go of dreams that I had. Interesting. Why do you need to let go of those dreams that you had? These dreams, why are they dreams in the first place for you, is the first thing that comes up for me. And is it something you really have to let go of? Or if it's something that you just feel is maybe out of your reach? And if you feel it's out of your reach, is it really out of your reach? Why do you think that? I would love to think that you could hold on to any dreams you have. One thing I talk to my clients about as a manifestation coach is that we're taught through family and through experiences and in our environment that there's a certain way of doing things in our life, right? Those certain steps you take. And one of the things I try to do as a manifestation coach is completely flip that on its head. That is not the way it has to be. I'm 55 years old. This being a coach for me is a completely new place for me. Later in life, I decided to go to coaching school. And I don't want to say this sounding like the wrong thing, but if any of you have heard of this saying, youth is wasted on the young. It's not that it's wasted on the young. It's that because when we're young, there's so much we still have to learn. So if there's so much we still have to learn, it's hard to let go and realize that we don't have to follow these rules if there's so much to learn. But as we get later on in life and we've learned all these things, it's easier to let go. So that it's wasted on the young. It just makes more sense. And yes, I love that you're saying this. I'm 64 and just getting going. It feels so good, doesn't it? I'm so happy to be able to say I'm in my 50s and I'm letting go, especially when you look at the big picture. Is there anybody here that looks at the big picture? I have for a really, really long time and didn't know it, couldn't put it into words. And I'm realizing now, because I look at the big picture, it's easier to pull away and look at what's really going on around us rather than being in this little focused tunnel, right? It's so much easier when you can just pull back and see what's really going on. And then once you see that, you could see where you are in this picture, in this big picture, and see what you can do. So I hope this helps with any of you out there that are having a block with surrender, having a hard time letting go, trusting all these amazing words we said. I'm so glad you found it amazing, Kelly. And I can't wait to see yours. I'm so excited. Fellow coach Kelly Turner will have her own month. So anyway, okay. So I hope this was just as helpful for you as it was for me. As I always say, I read your Q&As and your chats. Let's make sure, nope, I'm not forgetting anything in the chat. I think I've gotten everything in the Q&As. So thank you again for coming. Thank you so much. I love this too. Thank you so much for coming. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about choices and how our choices that we make affect our path. So if you want to give that a thought before we're back here tomorrow at 12 o'clock, think about what choices you're making, how they're affecting you, and let's have another great conversation. And I just want to thank you again so much for coming to my PIF talk through Life Coach University. I hope you could feel that I'm doing this out of love, because that's absolutely where it's coming from, to give the love to you so that you can spread the love in your way, paying it forward. So I will see you again tomorrow and have a wonderful day. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
When you want something else to change, all you have to do, I will tell you. What you have to do is change yourself. All you have to do is pay it forward in your mind.